All right, so hi guys. I can't wait to update you guys on what I've done with my Wastewise project after 5 months of not being and seeing each other. So super excited to share that with you all. First I want to recap my original plan. So originally I said I wanted to do waste classification, but unfortunately that did not happen because the waste company that gets our school's waste actually says they automatically sorts recyclables. So I switched to composting. And yes, this is an actual picture of the compost bin on our school campus. So first, I want to go over what I've done with my project in general, the 5 W's and an H. So when, where, why, and how, and what. So first, I want to start with why. With landfills and carbon emissions being a tremendous problem, when we can reduce the amount of waste sent to landfills, that is, i.e., by composting, we can reduce methane emissions and carbon dioxide emissions, which greatly benefits the environment. And what? So I wanted to start by putting 2 compost bins by the school cafeteria, and the picture on the right is representative of me wanting to involve the community in order to establish a more sustainable campus and future. And who? So over the past 5 months, I have recruited my cab, which is Buddies. So I've expanded Buddies network and pictures of my wonderful cat members, as well as volunteers who are actively being recruited as we speak. And where, of course, it is taking place on the high school in the high school campus cafeteria, where I will be collecting compost as well as a local compost hub where I will be sending the compost to. And when so expecting I was really expecting to get the planning done in 1 month, have it implemented by February, and have an analysis by April. However, reality always falls short. So the planning actually took 4 months, which was a lot longer than I really expected, and implementation started the beginning of April, and I have not yet to do an analysis. And so what I've done with my project is first, I've had volunteers fill out an interest survey. And on there, they could pick between 2 roles, compost ambassador or compost deliverer. So it is pretty self-explanatory what the roles mean. For ambassador, it is basically just promoting the students to compost their leftover lunches every lunch period. And for driver is the people who are responsible for taking the compost to the local compost hub every Friday after school. And I also had them join our Discord server, which has been active and running since December, ever since I established Buddies. And this is where we'll also do scheduling. So with a lot of people involved, we want to make sure that everyone has a slot. Um, so we have signups on a spreadsheet, and everyone is paired up with their friends, so that can also increase the amount of collaboration involved in the project. And after they've completed their shifts, I have them fill out this form, which is for them to get their hours from Green Club. So a lot of challenges were actually faced throughout the project. Um, the first very big one being project approval. So where I go to my school, San Marino High School, it is a really strict high school in terms of getting anything approved at all. So when I expected it to be done in 1 to 2 months, it actually took 3 months, and I have some proof of that going on. In the first picture, I've just been talking about me conversing with my vice principal, and as you can see, there were like 7 exchanges elapsing over 4 months, and also collaborating with Green Club. That elapsed also over 4 months, and as you can see, there's like 14 exchanges between me and Green Club. And at the bottom, I also wrote a 3-page project proposal to the district, and fortunately, that has been approved. Um, and also locating a local compost hub. So I've reached out to a multitude of compost hubs who either did not get back to me or have rejected me. So honestly, it was pretty disheartening, but I am very hopeful that I will be able to work with one soon as I'm continuing my reach out. And another big factor was balancing school with Wastewise. As April is approaching the season of APs and finals, I do have less time to dedicate to Wastewise. However, any free time I have, I really like to dedicate to this project. And there was also a lot of lessons learned. So first one is rejection is a part of life. This was prioritized when I was dealing with the rejections from the compost hubs, and also patience is a virtue. My patience was really tested when I was trying to get the project initially approved by the school district. And also, you do not need to impress anyone. So I think at the beginning, when I was recruiting volunteers, I was really scared about what other people will say about my project. But I really learned and felt on a personal level that it is really what matters is that I'm doing something that I'm really passionate about, which is composting. And on a more positive note, there were a lot of tangible outcomes. So, first of all, I have gotten recognition, community engagement. So, I've sent out an interest survey a couple months ago. So, as you can see, many people were not quite familiar with composting, but most of us wanted to see composting on campus. And that was a big factor that motivated me to keep going. And I also got recognition from the school admin, district, and yearbook. So school admin is evident by me talking to the principals and vice principals. And a bonus plus is I actually got to visit their offices for the first time ever. So I think that's pretty cool. Because usually when people visit principal's office, it's for a bad situation, but this is totally different, right? And then on the district level, so the compost bin that you saw at the beginning of this presentation, it was actually put in place by the district after we have submitted our project. So it was at no cost to Sustainabilities, which was honestly very, very shocking to me, as well as Yearbook. So this picture shows that I was getting interviewed by Yearbook for this project, as well as outreach. So since the start of PGC, I have established the Sustainabilities PGC Instagram account. But after the end of the PGC challenge, I've expanded it to post the guide about my compost, introduce my cat members, as well as Green Club's screenshot on the interest survey QR code, which people can later fill out. And for the future impacts, I hope to be impacting the campus on an environmental and social level. So environmentally, I want to reduce the waste sent to landfills by composting. And I also want to establish a school garden as a compost hub. So instead of sending our compost to external compost hub and release even more carbon dioxide on the transportation, why not establish my school into a compost hub itself so it's self-sustainable? As well as social impacts, which of course includes community involvement as well as composting outside of campus. I really want students to be able to take these habits home so that they could start composting on their own backyards. And I want to thank PGC so much for giving me the opportunity to work on my climate action project. It has changed me as a student and my goals in life in the future. I also want to give a shout out to my mentor and my ambassador, Alana and Yao, as well as Claire Lee, who's in the audience today. She's one of the first members I recruited on Sustainabilities. And honestly, without her, I don't think any of this would have landed. And yeah, thank you.